Surviving infidelity. My soon-to-be ex-wife came out in early December. I can't move on, really long story. My world is upside down right now. My life feels fake and I just want to know how to go back to living my life. So, this whole scenario goes back to Thanksgiving. In my house, Thanksgiving is one of the few times a year I can just relax and take a drink. So I got a little buzzed, but my wife got wasted. Towards the end of our dinner, I was washing the dishes and my wife stumbled into the kitchen. She was a crying mess and I asked her what was wrong. She's slurring her words so badly, I could only understand, "I'm sorry." I took her to the bedroom, got her a glass of water and laid her down. That was the day I started wondering what was going on with her. Then around early December, I went home early because of a bad fall I had at work. I showed up and I was caught off guard by the presence of another car in my driveway. This wasn't a familiar car either, it was an '03 Dodge Durango which I hadn't seen since one of my buddies crashed his, back in '05 at a house party. Anyway, I went through the front door and my wife was sitting on the couch with a glass of wine in hand, and when I walked in, she gave me a giant hug. I asked about the car in the driveway and she said it was a girlfriend. I asked where this girlfriend was, and she said that she was taking a shower because she had spilled wine on herself. I didn't buy this story. I just felt in my gut that she was lying to me. So, I asked again and she fed me the same story. I had an idea pop in my head at that moment. I just sat down and said, "I already know, that's why I came home early." Me and my buddies quit playing poker because I had an Oscar-worthy poker face, and that came into play here as well. She looked petrified and said, "No what?" I told her that I already knew and that I deserved to hear it from her. She broke. I don't think this would have worked if she hadn't already been drinking. She started apologizing and told me that she wasn't being her whole self, and she needed to be open and honest with herself. On cue, the woman she had been seeing walked out of the bathroom. The woman froze when she saw me, then sat down next to my wife and held her hand tightly. That was when it clicked for me, my poker face is good, but not that good. My wife said, "I'm sorry you had to find out like this, but I can't keep pretending and wasting my life like this." Damn, this part makes me feel like a sissy. The combination of being shell-shocked, disrespected, and sad, became overwhelming and I couldn't help but shed a few tears. I refused to sob. I told the strange woman to leave my house immediately. She at first refused. I'm not an intimidating or aggressive person, but I threw my coffee table across the living room, near my dining table. She looked scared and I, almost sociopathic, calmly told her to leave once more. She tried to again state that she wasn't going anywhere, but my wife basically pushed her out. She came back in and started apologizing, and saying stuff like, "You're my best friend, and I still love you." At this point the pain of falling off a ladder onto tile and picking a stone coffee table had taken its toll on my back. I crumpled down and laid on my ottoman. My wife came over to comfort me, but I flipped out when she touched me and she went to the bedroom. I slept right there on the ottoman. The rest of December was horrible. I really messed up my back and had to go to doctor. I was given some rather strong painkillers and a cane. The painkiller's side effect was drowsiness, so I was tired most of the time. Couldn't work because of my back, so I spent the month crying about the death of my marriage and my severe back pain, as well as watching Stargate SG-1. Didn't eat much, I had some crackers every once in a while, but I lost almost 13 pounds in 2 weeks. My wife stayed at her girlfriend's house for most of December, but she came over for Christmas. She and the girlfriend came over, and when my wife saw my dirty clothes, caveman beard, and my swollen eyes, she cried a little. They sat me down, and said that my wife was moving on, but that she still loves me as a best friend. She wants me to accept her relationship and stayed involved in her life. I found strength for the first time in weeks, and told her that I was done with her. She had broken me, and I wasn't going to stand around and congratulate her. She left me alone with a broken back and broken heart. The girlfriend tried to talk, but I called her homewrecker. She got rather upset and told her that she wasn't welcome in my house. My wife tried to speak but I cut her off, and told her that the homewrecker needs to leave before we discuss any further. The homewrecker left and we talked. I told her that the divorce was coming, and that she could take almost nothing from me. I inherited my house well before we got together, and both my cars were gifted to me by my uncle around the same time I got my house. She looked a bit disappointed, and I told her that this was the last time we'd speak in person. All communication would be through my attorney from now on. She begged to keep in touch, but I told her the truth on how I feel. I told her that I thought about ending myself at least 10 times a day. I told her that she meant more to me than anything else in the world, but she betrayed me. I told her talking to her made me physically sick, and I felt little pain. She understood that. So that's where I've been. I think about her all the time now. New Year sucked. I stayed away from alcohol during this period, mostly because it's dangerous when used alongside my painkillers. Speaking of the painkillers, I should be rid of them soon. Those painkillers are horrible, and I really want to go back to work and do something other than sleep and vomit. Damn, this got long. I'm sorry guys. This was kinda therapeutic for me in a way. Just letting the words flow really helped me. Has anyone been through something similar? Do you know how to stop thinking of your former partner? Please, I'll accept any advice. Now for the top advice. Just wanna say, that is some absolute BS to cheat on your husband, and expect him to be all up and happy for you, when he catches you and your freaking affair partner. She even chose to then say she wants to stay friends and loves you. I feel for you, man. As soon as you can get off the painkillers and do your own thing, just proactively finish it all off. Get in the gym or something to take your mind off it here and there, and good luck. I'm rooting for you. I appreciate this message, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to read my horrible situation. Her telling you that she loves you and you're her best friend, and that she wants to remain friends, is 100% about closure for her. She isn't doing it because it's the truth. She's doing it so she can tell people, look how great I am, I left my husband, but we're still best friends. Screw that noise. He needs to ghost her too and rebuild a far better life. She wants me to accept her relationship. Never gonna happen. You used our marriage as a vehicle to feel safe and explore your sexuality, with other people. That goes against the tenets of your marriage. No matter her identity, that's no excuse to cheat on a partner that you've made a lifelong commitment to. This is a huge betrayal. And her wanting to be friends during this process after doing something like this, means she doesn't completely understand or fully appreciate the gravity of her actions. She thinks she can have her cake and eat it too. She's just another garden variety piece of crap cheater you need to try your best to scrub from your life. Best friends don't do this to each other. People that love each other, don't do this to each other, period. That's what you need to think about when her name pops into your head. I think about her all the time now. Distractions. Work on yourself. Get in the gym. Hobbies. It sucks because your back got injured and you're probably not working right now. If you ever need to talk, reach out. Yep, totally using it as a shield. Only thinking of herself. The next story. Found out my boyfriend of 5 years was cheating on me for 3 years with my sister. My boyfriend, 24 male, of 5 years was cheating on me, 23 female, for 3 years with my sister, 21 female. I found out because my sister eventually owned up to it and told me yesterday. Apparently, they've been having this affair since the beginning of our relationship. Boyfriend approached my sister around 1 month after he and I made it official and introduced each other to our families. Sister says she was young and stupid, so she went along with it. She's been apologizing to me non-stop and said she wasn't sure how to break it to me, which is why it took her so long to say anything about it. I was and still am really devastated by this. This was my first serious relationship I've ever had, and for the whole 5 years we were together, I thought everything was completely fine. We've never even had a huge argument before, just a good share of minor disagreements that were easy to move and put to rest. At first, I didn't even believe my sister, but she had evidence. Ex-related texts, nudes, a bunch of other stuff I don't want to talk about. My sister said they didn't meet up many times during the affair, but when they did, it'd be when I was out doing stuff like visiting friends or relatives, going shopping, etc. I'm not sure where to go from here. My sister told me that my boyfriend eventually stopped the affair because he felt bad for going behind my back, and that he actually does care for me. But honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about my boyfriend anymore. I want to believe he does care about me, but I'm having doubts, so what do you think I should do, Reddit? Any advice would be very appreciated. Now for the top advice before reading the poster's edit at the end. Well, you're right to have your doubts. What he did was completely disrespectful to you and your relationship, and could have ruined your relationship with you and your sister. Your sister is a jerk too. This would be beyond a deal breaker for me. Yeah, based on all of the other helpful comments and advice I've received, I think I'm going to just end our relationship here and see if I can fix things with my sister. Thank you so much for replying. I think you're making a great choice for yourself. I'm sorry you're dealing with this and I hope things can eventually get repaired with your sister. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'll definitely try my best to work through this situation with my sister. Claiming it was in the past is irrelevant. Because had he told you at the time like he should have, it would have been fresh and you would have left then. You don't get to hide something from someone for years, and then use that time as an example of how far you've come when they deserved honesty for the entirety of that time frame. Not only he cheated, he denied you the ability to make a decision about whether you wanted to stay, and made that decision for you by lying to your face about everything. Not telling you and having you find out years later from someone else, did nothing but erase years of effort. Even though it was years ago, there's no way for you to believe that nothing has happened in these years. What else is he lying about? Years of dishonesty, with him trying to preserve his own interests by convincing himself that doing right would erase it, did nothing but kill his chances. If he really cared about how this affected you, he would have told you long ago, but he can't risk that because you might realize this relationship is done. He doesn't want that, even if parting ways would be the healthiest option for you both. He just wants what he wants and he'll do anything to get it. It's not remorse, it's fear. After reading this, I definitely agree with everything you've said, and I think this is where the relationship ends with my boyfriend. Thank you for taking the time to respond. Edit, I'm gonna head to sleep now, it's already midnight, but before that, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who took the time to respond to my post or even just read it. It really does mean a lot. My plan as of right now, is to leave my boyfriend and try my best to fix things with my sister. Once again, thank you to everybody who responded to my post and for taking the time to read it. The last story is titled, My 24 male girlfriend, 23 female, offered me a 3S with her female best friend and I am FM 3S, and I want to break up with her because of that. I am a law student, my girlfriend is a part-time accountant at a firm. She dropped out of the university a while ago, so we moved in together to share the expenses. I have been quite frustrated with my studies recently. I study all day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I feel like law school is making me insane, and I am actually considering dropping out because I can't take this amount of stress anymore. Our intimate life has been quite boring. We have X breaks once in a while, but it's pretty vanilla. Missionary/doggy then unload in her and repeat. No kinks apart from a foot job from time to time, but honestly my libido has tanked lately. She is home half of the day, watches Netflix doing nothing, and she always was understanding of my psychological condition, and claimed that it was enough for her. Recently while having fun, she brought up her friend. She is engaged but kinda libertine, they are swingers, and wanted her to join us in a 3S. I tried to shrug it off, but she insisted. She also said she has a DP fantasy and would like also a MFM 3S with the fiancé of her best friend. I said nothing, though I regret not refusing immediately because she thinks I am in favor of it. Honestly, this goes beyond my picture of a serious relationship. I am kinda busy with school and I hate her for putting this boulder on my head. The fact she even desires a 3S or a DP, disgusts me, and I know even if I refuse, she will never truly give up the idea because that's how kinks work. Is it worth throwing away a 4-year relationship because of this? Honestly, since she mentioned it 3 weeks ago, I have been thinking of it more and more, and it unsettles me more than it probably should. Thanks for your opinion. Now for the top advice. It is okay to have boundaries. That is yours, make that clear to her. It may or may not be a deal breaker. But let her know monogamy is a requirement for you, and take it from there. Side note, you sound depressed, my dude. I feel for you with the stress of school. Please seek professional help. I cannot tell you how well things improved for me when I started antidepressants. There are all sorts of ways to spice up your bedroom life. There are games and dice that will recommend different positions. Give something like that a try. To add to this, don't quit school unless you are 100% sure you're done. It's hard to stop and start again if you're in the US specifically. I'm kind of in a similar situation. My partner wants a FMF 3S, and it's been something he's wanted for a long time, and everyone he knows has done it so he wants to too. I am extremely uncomfortable with the situation, and have said maybe later in life when I'm more confident, but not now. One drunken night, he asked my best friend for a 3S. She refused, and he felt guilty and told me about it the next day. I was extremely hurt and cried all day about it. After that, I just flat out told him, no, I am not doing it, as it is not my style. and he's never mentioned it again. If your girlfriend really cares about you and respects you, she'll also accept the no for what it is, and have to move on. If she wants to choose a 3S over a 4-year relationship, then that's her problem, not yours. There are compromises and sacrifices that have to be made in relationships, and people who aren't willing to do so, are not fit for relationships yet. The difference here is, the damage is already done. Just knowing she not only wants this, but has picked the guy out, has totally poisoned the well. Every time she talks about that friend, he is going to think about his girlfriend wanting to screw her fiancé. Every time she is hanging out with them, that is going to be on his mind. This is one of those situations where you kinda need to know the answer before you ask the question, and you definitely shouldn't have all the players picked out before you even know if your significant other wants to play the game. It's a mental depth charges that goes deep and does lots of damage. Even if she wasn't that attached to the idea, like it was just a fun fantasy, she has fundamentally changed how he thinks about her as a person from some stupid comment. My bet is that her best friend and fiancé have been working on her. They are swingers already. They are looking for something new. The fiancé has expressed interest in her, and they have pushed on her slowly, hoping you will do it. This isn't just expressing a fantasy, this is where someone has already asked her for it and she is now working on you. My guess is, the fiancé is pushing for it and got her interested in it. That's the thing with swingers, everyone is a potential partner and they are always recruiting. I really have a hunch that this is the case. But I am not sold on just the friend's fiancé wanting this. It could be a full-on press from the other couple. The friend could really want to get with her too. But I agree that I think the other couple has been sowing the seeds here. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.